12 men. 12 men with personalities, passions, ambitions, flaws. Too often we see them cast in black and white, stilted figures, stoic faces. We are going to cast them in color, as the scriptures do. Sense the fire in their bellies, squirm at their competition, relate to their outbursts, ask their questions as they're caught up in the most momentous events in human history, the ministry of Jesus from Nazareth, the Son of God. James, the son of Zebedee, is the first James. There was another James as a disciple of Jesus, but this one is far more prominent. He and his brother John were fishermen on the Sea of Galilee, and their business associates were none other than Simon Peter and Andrew, two other brothers who were disciples of Jesus. James and John were known as the sons of Zebedee, referring to Zebedee, their father. Jesus named them the sons of thunder, likely referring to their fiery ambition and zeal. When James and John are approaching a Samaritan village with Jesus and see that the village doesn't immediately receive Jesus with hospitality, they ask if they can call down fire from heaven to consume them. Jesus, who could rightly call down fire from heaven, responds, "The Son of Man did not come to destroy people's souls, but to save them." At another time, James and John have their mother ask Jesus if James and John can sit at Jesus' right and left hand in heaven, positions of great power and importance. James even promises to follow Jesus into martyrdom if necessary. Little did he know, all the things that James in his great fiery ambition claimed and desired would, in a sense, come true. Fire would fall from heaven to consume sin, not on James or on the Samaritans, but on Jesus. Jesus would bear the brunt of God's wrath for all of our unbridled selfishness and pride and arrogance. But Jesus also came to save people's souls. And there is an atonement for James, for the Samaritans, and for you. Now, James, by faith, will occupy a prominent position in heaven, maybe even more prominent than others because of his contributions to the faith and to the early church. But James did follow Jesus into martyrdom. His is the one death of a disciple we have recorded for us in Scripture. Acts chapter 12, we hear that Herod Agrippa I, that's a grandson of Herod the Great, who pursued the young Jesus' life, had James killed for his faith by the sword. That means he was probably beheaded. I don't mean to be casual about James's death, but he who could get a big head lost his. But thanks be to God, who decapitates our selfish ambition and gives us a new head, the head of Christ, the church, whose blood runs through our veins, who claims us as God's people, who directs us away from our own purposes and toward the purposes of God's kingdom, the salvation of souls.
Today's devotion is presented by Pastor Patrick Ernst. You can support our video ministry through your prayers and donations. Visit peacedevotions.com/donate when you are ready to give.